Welcome everyone to another startup and automobile documentation. What we have here is a 2022 Kia Niro EV EX. This Niro is painted in steel gray. On the key fob, you have the buttons for lock, unlock, rear hatch release, panic, and remote start. And you have smart key access for the front doors. The front door panels have bottle holders and storage. This is a premium Harman Kardon sound system. And you get power windows, locks and mirrors, and power folding mirrors. It has a charcoal interior, and EX models get a combination of cloth and Syntex leatherette seat upholstery. This EX does get a fully powered driver's seat with two-way power lumbar. And now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and power it on. The Kia Niro is a small crossover that made its debut for the 2017 model year, and as of the 2024 model year is currently in its second generation. What's notable about the Niro is that it is exclusively offered as either a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, or a full-on EV like the one in this video. So if you get a Kia Niro, it's guaranteed to have some sort of electrified powertrain. This 2022 Niro we have here represents the model's first generation, codenamed DE, which was produced from model years 2017 through 2022. It also shares its platform with the original Hyundai Ioniq, which was also hybrid or EV only, albeit the Ioniq was a 5-door liftback and not a crossover like the Niro is. For 2020, the Niro got a mid-cycle facelift, and fun fact, 2022 was the only year for the first generation Niro to use the current Kia logo. By 2022, the US market Niro came in all three of its variants, the hybrid, the plug-in, and the Niro EV. As for trim levels for the 22 Niro EV, you had EX and EX Premium. The Niro EV is also chock full of standard safety equipment, so adaptive cruise, pre-collision braking, lane keep assist, and so on. The electric motor produces 201 horsepower and is paired with a 64 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery and a single-speed transmission. It offers 239 miles of range per charge. It has a fully digital instrument cluster, and the digital info display located within it can be gone through via these controls on the steering wheel. You have your trip computers, shows you how economically you've been driving, energy flow, compass, cruise control info, and then all sorts of vehicle settings. At the time of filming, this one has 28,234 miles on it. It has a 3-spoke design, leather-wrapped and multifunctional steering wheel. You have sport grips. And as for controls, first on this side, you'll find your audio controls along with your Bluetooth and hands-free phone, voice commands, that kind of stuff. Then on this side, you'll find the controls for your adaptive cruise control, so your following distance, lane centering assist, and then also your information display controls. There are paddle shifters to adjust the regen, and the steering wheel is tilt and telescopic. With this button, you can turn on or off the scheduled charging. So if you don't want to wait for the scheduled charging to start, you just want to charge it right away, you can push that. And then with this, it'll like automatically lock out the charging connector when it's plugged in, I believe. Your blind spot monitoring, your lane keep assist, traction control, and your panel dimmer. Climate vent for the driver. On this side, you have your exterior lighting stock. And on this side is your wiper stock. Going down the center of the interior, you have your charge indicator right there, a speaker up top. Right here is the whole touchscreen interface for the infotainment system. We'll go over that more in a bit. Your hazards, your central climate vents, some various physical controls for the radio and infotainment system, some shortcuts for that. We've got single zone automatic climate controls in here. Driver only, that actually makes it to where, to conserve energy, the air will primarily just blow on the driver if you're by yourself. You have a wireless charging pad, along with a 12-volt power outlet and 2 USB-A ports. Storage. Up here is your gear selector. So we're in park, over for reverse. Going in reverse reveals a backup camera with guidance lines. Neutral, and then over for drive. Push that button for park. And it does have an electronically operated parking brake. Both front seats are 3-stage heated. Auto hold for the parking brake. And then your drive mode selector. You have Eco, Normal, and Sport, and you can hold it to go into Eco Plus. Limits you to 60 miles per hour. There's power folding mirrors right there. You have 2 cup holders in here. You can push these out of the way, make it just storage, and then push them again to make it cup holders. And a center console with some storage and another USB-A port. Both sun visors do have vanity mirrors, lights, and card holders. Manually dimming rear view. On the overhead console, you have a sunglass holder and your overhead lighting. Rear passengers and the front passenger get grab handles. Okay, and here is the touchscreen infotainment system in this 2022 Niro EV. I gotta say, there is quite a lot of stuff in here. So this is pretty much your main home screen with all this stuff. So you get your EV info. There is quite a lot. Like, I'm probably gonna miss a few things. It shows you how economically you've been driving, settings regarding the electric powertrain. Now map for your navigation system. That thing is really loud. Probably a setting I gotta turn down. I don't know. Your navigation menu, points of interest like Kia dealerships, all the nearest ones. Phone, you can pair a phone projection, voice memo. A lot of new Hyundais and Kias have this. You can, like a voice recorder built into the car. Shows you what your climate controls are set to. Valet mode. You can bring up your local traffic, Doppler radar. Now here's the radio screen. Now a lot of these buttons here too are shortcuts, like to go to the nav, radio. Like right here, you have AM, FM, plus your Sirius XM, which is nice. Bring up little screens like that on the side too, like right there is the nav map and whatnot. You have Bluetooth audio streaming, on Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Then you have your Sounds of Nature, which new Hyundais and Kias and Genesises have been adding in here. You can play sound effects. thundering Harman Kardon sound system. Then your all sorts of UVO apps, weather, vehicle diagnostic. There's a lot of stuff in this system, and then like an owner's manual as well. But now we'll go ahead and roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. Both front windows are fully automatic. Did I say engine bay? Well, look what's under the hood. The components under the hood. It has 17-inch two-tone alloy rims. Propelling the Niro EV is a permanent magnet synchronous electric motor paired up with a 64 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack. Horsepower is rated at 201, while torque is rated at 291 pound-feet. That power is directed to the front wheels via a single-speed reduction gear transmission. A full charge gets you 239 miles of range, and miles per gallon equivalent estimates from the EPA are 123 mpge in the city and 102 mpge on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a multi-link rear suspension. Stopping the car are four-wheel disc brakes with vented front rotors. Base curb weight is about 3,854 pounds. Charge port is located on the front. Roof racks. Bottle holders in the back door panels. Split folding rear seats. The front passenger seat does have a mat pocket in the back. Coat hook. Rear passengers do get their own set of climate vents. And you have a folding center armrest with two cup holders. And as for space back here, I'm about 6'1". The driver's seat is in a decently comfortable driving position for myself. Legroom is actually surprisingly good. Headroom is not too bad either. I was expecting this to be quite a bit smaller on the inside. I know this is a bigger vehicle than the Hyundai Kona. That's an EV too. So it's kind of in its odd niche segment. It's like, I don't think it's really a subcompact like the, Seltos, or even like the Soul, if you want to consider that a crossover. But then it's, it's different than like a Sportage or Comp. It's kind of an interesting class that the Niro's in, kind of like a niche size of crossover. But nonetheless, I think it's a pretty spacious back seat. Footroom is just okay though. The front seat seems to be kind of low. It's like lower down than the back seat. But I don't know if it's just how I have it adjusted or not. wiper. Cargo space in the Niro EV is 18.5 cubic feet with the back seats up, and 53 cubic feet after folding the back seats down. Subwoofer has a Hyundai charge connector. This one does. But anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2022 Kia Niro EV. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.